The Lady Coyotes, led by Coach Yamashiro, come off 3 tremendous home game wins against non-conference teams Park University, Central Arizona, and most recently, Justice University. Now they return for their first home conference matchup in almost 2 weeks. Tonight, they take on the South Mountain Cougars in the den of the Coyote Center. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt McCurdy, and you are joining us live on the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. We appreciate you tuning in and everyone joining us live in the audience here tonight. As mentioned prior, the Coyotes come off of 3 successful non-conference matchups, giving us a great inside look at their squad and the potential they have. They dominated in the game against Justice on Tuesday, leading in every match and taking all 3 matches in a swift sweep, ending the final match in a shutout of 25-5. Riley Blagg with some tremendous moments, as well as Zoe Lastine dominating from the line with great volleyball IQ. And we're talking domination at the net. Riley Blagg using her height and speed to not only play top-tier defense with multiple blocks on the night, but also a slew of kills and great serves. Zoe Lastine with the eagle-eye serving precision. It was clean, it was controlled, and she had a change in pace and ball position that gave them ace after ace. Specifically in that third set when they took the match by storm, finishing out, as I said before, with 25-5. Now, Justice University, arguably the less talented and resourced team, and in talking to Coach Gus from Justice University, she mentioned that they're new to the program. They're building. But they played good, solid volleyball. They were well coached. Coach Gus leading the march and doing a tremendous job. And they gave the Coyotes some good rallies in the first and second matches. That third one obviously not going in their favor, losing by significant margins. But I really do think Coach Gus took that third match as an opportunity in a non-conference game to not care so much about the win, but rather the opportunity to teach her girls how to play and rotate her roster in. And that's just a sign of a good coach, when you can put aside the desire to win, the desire we all have to compete and play at the highest level, and utilize the opportunity that truthfully doesn't have bearing on their conference to teach her upcoming players. Now, the Coyotes did face a road loss just last Friday against conference squad Phoenix College. And this win, this was a 5-match bout. So it went the whole distance. And now the Coyotes look to take their first in-conference win of the season here tonight. And really, this is where they need to dig deep and answer the question, can we win when it counts? When the pressure is on? That's what matters right here, right now. They've had success in these non-conference games, and we've loved to see it. And some of them were in good, tough scenarios, wins that, you could have gone either way. However, they have to get the pieces to align for an in-conference win here tonight in the den of the Coyote Center, cementing the work they've seen and put in over the past couple weeks. And we've watched that. We've witnessed it live on the scene in these past 3 non-conference matchups. And so we want to see this win go on the record. Now, let's take a look at the game against the Bears last Friday. The team coming off 2 games that week, playing the night before that Thursday night match that we saw here against Central Arizona. They played hard. They won. And in their game to Phoenix, they went the full stretch, a 3-2 loss, battling for the full 5. The Bears winning the first and fourth and fifth set in the match, and the Coyotes taking big lead wins in the second and the third. So they played well. As I talked to Coach Yamashiro, he mentioned, they underestimated the Bears a little bit. They came in not playing at their rhythm and pace, and it was a game that they felt they could have and should have won. And he mentioned he won't make that mistake again. The team won't make that mistake again when they meet Phoenix College here on the home court. Right now in conference rankings, Mesa Community College in the first seed, running the game 4-0. Scottsdale Community College falling closely behind with a 3-1 record. Glendale Community College also right behind in the third seed with a 3-1 record. Pima Community College in the fourth with a 1-2. Phoenix College in that 5th position with a 1-2 record. Your Chandler-Gilbert Coyotes in the 6th with an 0-3 record, looking to make that a 1-3 record here tonight. And South Mountain Community College in the 7th with an 0-3 record. South Mountain, the team they're going to be competing against tonight, so both squads looking to put a win on the board. So now, the Coyotes getting to test their skills against South Mountain. The Cougars, led by Coach Taylor Galliano, I apologize, Galliano. Galliano, former GCU standout Taylor, was named the new South Mountain Community College women's volleyball coach in March of 2025. He was a middle blocker originally from Santa Ana, California, and he brings extensive playing and coaching experience to the Cougars. And in talking with him, he mentioned he's been through this journey. He played JUCO. He went Division I. He played pro. So he knows what it's like to work your way up the ranks, to experience the different levels of the game. And in talking to him, he feels like he can bring that to the squad that he's newly coaching, and he wants to bring that. He wants them to feel like it's more than just a game on the court. It's an opportunity to learn, and he can provide that mentorship that so many players desperately need and want as they try to work their way up. Coach has worked with several top clubs in Arizona and California, including, but not limited to, Saddleback Valley Volleyball Club, Orange Coast Volleyball Club, Forza One, and Arizona Sky. This success translated to a silver medal at the 2017 Junior Nationals and a bronze in 2018. At the collegiate level, Galliano served as an assistant coach at Benedictine University Mesa and at Irving Valley College, and his coaching philosophy emphasizes technical precision, strategic execution, and fostering a competitive and disciplined mindset in his athletes. And I asked him a little bit about this culture he hopes to bring. You know, with every new coach and program, it takes time to build. There's a foundation that had to be laid, and in talking to Coach, he mentioned every game they play, while it hasn't necessarily translated to wins, it's been a foundational piece in their team's culture, in their development, and his athletes. And he's seeing the growth day by day, and it takes time. And so he's willing to put in that effort. He's willing to take that time and realize that it's not necessarily about winning today. It's about winning in the coming seasons. It's about developing players and making every day count. So this should be an exciting matchup. South Mountain ranked one below the Coyotes in conference standings, but both tied up in conference listings, 0-3 on the board. This should be a team the Coyotes can play, can win against, and they're on a bit of a winning streak with those non-conference matchup wins here on the home court. So securing a win tonight will be really the push forward they want, they need, and we hope maybe the match that starts the fire in their success here in conference. And securing this conference win, I think, will really cement all the good things we've seen in the non-conference matchups. We'll talk a little bit more about South Mountain's record and some of the games they've witnessed this season and been a part of. But first, we're going to have a national anthem and then the starting lineup. So we'll take a quick break and prepare for that.
Sorry for technical difficulties. Good evening and welcome to the den at the Coyotes Center for tonight's match between South Mountain and Chandler-Gilbert. I can please get everybody to rise if you're able to. Remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
So that was your national anthem, and we'll get underway with this game here at the den of the Coyote Center. Well said by Coach Steve Silsby on the mic. So for South Mountain, number 3, Amanda Mitan. Number 5, Morgan Moraga. Number 7, Julia Abdul-Dasalam. Number 8, Talua Johnson. Number 9, Alyssa Zizmansky. Number 10, Ava Moreno. And number 13, Aylin Solis. And their head coach, Taylor Galliano. And now for your Chandler-Gilbert Coyotes. The freshman libero, number 1, Bryn Aguano. Freshman setter, Kennedy Amaryllis. A sophomore outside hitter, number 5, Sydney Metcalf. The sophomore middle blocker, number 7, Kia Crafter. The freshman setter, number 11, Elena Kitch. A freshman middle blocker, number 13, Riley Blagg. And a sophomore, number 14, outside hitter, Sage Salazar. Head coach. Andrew Yashamiro as head coach for the Coyotes. So both teams will high-five each other at the net, and this game will be underway shortly. South Mountain Cougars in the white and dark blue, navy blue, and your Chandler-Gilbert Coyotes in the teal and white. So once again, this is a really good game for the Coyotes. Pretty evenly matched, tied in conference rankings, and an opportunity to put the winning success they've had here at the Coyote Center that we've all witnessed to the test against a conference rival. And this is a chance to put a conference win on the board, currently sitting 0-3, as mentioned before. Looking to make that 1-3, so 1 win to the 3 losses, and really spark their season, or at least their conference season. Now, obviously, they've had wins here at home that we've watched, but spark their conference season and start getting some conference wins on the board so that they can have that confidence as they play teams like Scottsdale, Glendale, Phoenix again, I'm sure, Mesa, Pima, and feel like, you know what, we aren't missing that key piece. So both teams ready to go, and looks like we're locked and loaded. Once again, we appreciate you. Everyone join us here tonight on a Wednesday night here at the den of the Coyote Center as these two teams put each other's skill to the test. South Mountain with 6 games under their belt with 1-5 overall. Obviously, their conference record 0-3. South Mountain with losses to Mesa, Scottsdale twice, Pima, and Glendale. Ball's up, Metcalf at the line. It's a battle. They'll tip back. Salazar with a swat. Finds the line. Pushed outside. Tipped. Aguano's there to recover. Pushed outside. Salazar with the swing. Rides the net. A nice toss off the hands of Sydney Metcalf. And that'll be the South Mountain Cougars securing the first points of tonight's game. Number 3, Amanda Mitten. With a nice swat at the middle line. Secure the point. And a big swat from number 9, Alyssa Szymanski. Seeing the ball right, tied up to the net. She'll capitalize on the opportunity. Number 13, Aylin Solis at the line to serve. And The Cougars fired up after that one. Amarillo's outside to Salazar. Salazar will go with the bump. Pushed out. Outside and blocked by Sydney Metcalf. That was a swing off of number 8, Tallulah Johnson. So both teams feeling each other out, trying to find their rhythm. As Hallie Gibbons for the Coyotes heads to the line. She'll serve. It's good.
We need to open the Firefox, right? Go into YouTube. Hopefully just say, oh, there we go. That's good. Okay. Let's see. Stop streaming. Nope, we're live. Okay, everything's back up. Yeah, back up. All right.
All right, and we are back. Apologize for some technical difficulties after some excellent accuracy from the Cougars squad taking out the live stream, but all things are back up and running, and we're live as the Coyotes lead 10-4, and Zoe Lestine leading the march there from the back row. And big swing from number 9 from the Cougars. That's Alyssa Zizmansky. Or the massive swing, and she'll send that one rocking off into the audience as the Cougars take back control. And number 17, Ali Encinas, will serve for the Cougars. Good serve up near the net. Aguano outside middle to Amaryllis. She'll hit it with a light touch. And Lestine keeps that alive. Johnson down to Black. Black, big swing. And it's good as the Coyotes put that one away. And that's what we saw last game with Riley Black. A lot of consistency, great power, specifically from the middle position, and an ability to time her shot just right and put in the perfect placement for the Coyotes. Black with an ace. Another point for the Coyotes. Riley Black with great marksmanship from the service line. She'll send that one up. It's high off the net, and Amaryllis will dunk that back down. Kennedy Amaryllis with the open opportunity, and that'll be a timeout called by the Cougars as they try to figure out a solution for the Coyotes. Thank you. So South Mountain in trouble, feeling the game slipping away here in the first set. 13-5, obviously a lot of time to go, but they will line up and discuss with Coach Galliano. Obviously Galliano bringing a lot of experience to the table, and he's been in situations like this, folks. He's been in a lot of tough, tight games, I'm sure, and knows when to call a timeout and reset his team. Obviously, them having some great moments and great plays, specifically from Alyssa Zizmansky. So obviously the talent's here, and now it's about execution. Riley Black in possession for the Coyotes. She'll continue her barrage of serves. And I can't speak more highly of Riley Black, just really showing us how versatile of a player she is. Another great positioning of the ball, and she knows how on that serve to put good speed, good contact, and really drop it right in the middle section of the court, forcing the back row to step up and change their positioning. A tough spot to defend. Riley Black will go for another one. It's popped up by the libero and pushed outside. Tipped. Crafter with the block. They'll be tipped right in the middle by number 17, Ali Encinas, the freshman setter. And a great read, realizing the lineup on the front row and the height from Aubrey Becker and Kea Crafter. Having a great night up on the front row, so she'll switch up gears. Aguano pushed outside to Becker. Becker, a nice tip, and she'll send it right back. a little payback from Aubrey Becker as she'll give it the tight tap and find the middle section in no man's land. Sydney Metcalf and Grace Johnson. I apologize, actually, Elena Kitch checking into the game. Grace Johnson checking out, rather, as well as Aubrey Becker. Kitch with the serve. Tight, comes off the net, and that'll be a quick point for the Cougars. Kitch looking to ride that right over the top and tight, and it'll be no good, and so the Cougars will pick that one up. Number 5, Morgan Moraga will serve. Aguano gets that up. Kitch down the middle to Crafter. Crafter, big swing. And they'll call that at the net against the Cougars as the Coyotes pick up another point. 16-7 here in the den of the Coyotes Center, and Sage Salazar will check on in for Zoe Lestine as Kendi Amarillas serves at the line. Amarillas, a nice serve, but brings it down, actually, and he'll go right into the net. Had some nice power behind it. I think even she was a little surprised off that, but she'll shake it off and get back in the game, and that's one thing we've seen over the past 5 or 6 games, an ability to shake off the mistakes and get right back in to the game they're playing. And you got to give credit to Coach Yamashiro for helping instill that in the program. And Metcalf saying it down, but kept alive by the Cougars. Lane, body out on the court, popping it back up and managing to send it back over to the Coyotes' end of the court. And the Coyotes will struggle to send it back. That'll be a point for the Cougars and a well-earned one. They'll send it back over. Amarillas with the up. Kitch down the middle to Crafter. Good spot. It's good. Crafter, not much power behind that hit, but just enough to tip it off the hands of the defense and send it tumbling out of bounds. So that'll be a point for the Coyotes, and Hallie Gibbons will rejoin us on the floor. Gibbons to the back row. Down the middle. Tossed. Becker. Outside to Salazar. Salazar tips it over. Pushed outside. Metcalf, big swing down the line. It's good. Metcalf with some good accuracy. Finding the outside line and saying it down nice and tight. Another good serve from Hallie Gibbons, kept alive. Amarillas to Kitch, flag in the middle. She'll ride it off the fingertips of the middle blocker, number 3, Amanda Minnan. And that'll be in favor of the Coyotes once again. So Amanda Minnan checking out for number 14, Esra Bryant. Gibbons still in possession on her serve. Another great serve. Comes off the hands of Tallulah Johnson, but it'll be up and alive and sent over. Outside to Salazar. Big swing blocked by Bryant. But that will come off of Bryant and go out of bounds on the Coyotes' end of the court. So Coyotes will remain in possession and they'll get the point. 29 in this first set. Gibbons with the up and over, this time light and tight. Pushed over, big swing, and hang time from number 9, Alyssa Szymanski. She'll set that one way over the back end, but a great show of athleticism from Szymanski, who had to be hanging in the air there for quite a few seconds as she powered up and sent that one flying. Gibbons drops it right in the corner. And you like to see the accuracy of Hallie Gibbons' serve coming back. Obviously, Gibbons coming off of a tough injury last season, not being able to play, and then joining the team this year. Her serves starting to come back and find their accuracy as Tallulah Johnson sends that one out of bounds, chased down by number 13, Aylin Solis, but she can't recover it in time, and Gibbons will lock this one away. 23-9. Coyotes looking to close out the first set. Another great serve by Gibbons. Pushed up, and Bryant will tip it over. Gibbons outside to Metcalf. Metcalf tops it. Pushed over the top by Cougars. Salazar from the outside. Big swing blocked by Bryan off the net. Metcalf with an opportunity. Big swing down the line. It's out. Metcalf trying to find that sideline once again, but she'll send it just a little too far, and that'll go out of bounds. But the Coyotes with some great hustle, keeping it off the net and giving themselves some second chances. And look, save Salazar. Keep that one up, and Salazar with a big swing off of Johnson. Szymanski tries to put it down. She'll get it. Szymanski with a serious windup on that one. Sends it off of the blockers and down on the Coyotes court. Aguano, Kitch with the toss. A tricky play, and that one will ride it right into the court. Another great IQ play from Elena Kitch. So Kitch and Metcalf will check out as Johnson and Aubrey Becker check back in. Grace Johnson with the serve. It's high and out of bounds. Johnson trying to float it to the back line and drop it right within the backcourt territory. She'll overdo it, and that'll go over to the Cougars. 24-12. Cougars trying to break the 12-point deficit. Johnson outside to Becker. Becker, big swing, and now it'll go straight into the net. So the Cougars finding a bit of momentum here late in the first set as the Coyotes try to put that one last point away and close the first set out. Black, big swing, it's good. And Riley Blagg will answer the call. She'll pull the extra point and send that first set packing. So now both teams will swap sides. The Coyotes taking that one away with a 12-point lead. Big credit to Riley Blagg, who hammered the last point home and also led the march on serves, and Hallie Gibbons as well. Some great pinpoint accuracy and quick aces on the board. We'll take a quick timeout. Don't go anywhere as we explore the rest of this exciting match here at the Coyote Center. So we return after a quick set one. The Coyotes coming out triumphant in the first one against South Mountain Cougars and leading the march with a 12-point lead. Some great movement and teamwork and effort. Standout moves from Riley Black, the middle blocker for the Coyotes, and Hallie Gibbons, who had a tremendous serving set with just some great accuracy and finding her mark almost every time. She'll take some great leads there and put some points on the board for the team. Kenny Amaryllis will start us off. As the game gets underway. And Kia Crafter at the net. She'll toss it down. Amaryllis. And Crafter with the big swing finds the point. So Kenny Amaryllis will send it once again. Pushed outside. Zemansky, she tries to get there in time, but the set was just a little too far out. She'll chase it down, and it'll go right into the net. Zemansky leading the team this year in kills, 38 kills for the season. Tremendous athlete for the Cougars. And that's 58 kills within the 5 games they've had. Amaryllis, great save by Kitch. And Bryant will slam that one home right at the middle net off the hands of Bryn Iguano. Johnson with the serve. Kitch outside to Metcalf. Metcalf looked like she had to get back behind it. Couldn't go forward into the serve, or the kill rather, and she'll be thrown off balance, sending it into the net. Johnson with the serve off the hands of Amaryllis. Kitch is there to recover. Salazar tip it over, and she'll find her mark. It looks like the ball went outside the lines, and that'll be a point for the Cougars. A few words for Sage Salazar from Coach Yamashiro. It looks like directing her to toss the ball inside and turn the hand. Salazar with an opportunity. She'll serve and swing. It's out. So the Cougars taking the lead here in the second set. Johnson rides off the net. A tricky one to recover from, and the Cougars will secure the point again. The Cougars loving this one. That's Tallulah Johnson. Pushes it out. Metcalf with an opportunity. She swings. Johnson's there to recover. Pushed outside. Off the hands of Sydney Metcalf. Amaryllis tries to get there. It's no good. That'll come down on Coyotes court. Coach Yamashiro with some words for the team, telling them to get going, find the rhythm, get back in the game. That one comes off strong for Amaryllis right off the net. Cougars try to recover. Crafter with the toss down. Back row to Szymanski. Crafter's there with the block. She tosses it back up. Amaryllis from the back. She'll send it down with some authority. And Johnson keeps it alive. Cougars with a swing of their own. Amaryllis is there. A tremendous rally as Sage Salazar goes for a big swing and sends it off the fingertips of Alyssa Szymanski, who was at the net. So it looks like the Coyotes, heeding the words of their coach, they'll get a little fired up and start their execution as Hallie Gibbons with another great serve. Send it to the opposite side of the end she's serving from and put it right at the line. A tricky one to call if you're the Cougars. You gotta love to see when a player finds their rhythm. Szymanski chasing that ball out of bounds. She'll bump it back in as Salazar goes for a big swing. She finds her mark that time. They'll send it back over, and this time Kitch with a last-ditch effort arm, sends it over and into the net. The Cats will take back control of the game, 7-4, or rather, Cougars still in the lead. Blagg slams it away from the middle line. 5-7 as the Cougars lead this game. Apologize for the misread on the scoreboard. The Cougars with the lead, and the Cats trying to climb their way back. Grace Johnson will serve for the Cats. Push down the middle to number 5. And they'll call that in favor of the Cougars. The Cougars looking for the call there off the fingertips of the Cats. As it goes out of bounds, they'll get the call in their favor. So Cougars will retain possession. And number 17, Ali Encinas, will serve. Ali from Surprise, Arizona. And Amarillo with the up, pushed outside to Becker. Looks like a violation on the Cougars, so the Cats will pick up the quick point. There's nothing worse than losing a point for a violation on your end. It's part of the game, but easy points given away are never fun. Big block by Blagg. Sent back over by the Cougars. Johnson to Blagg. Blagg off the tips of the Cougar defense. She'll make it count. Blagg with the point. Big swing. Comes off strong and into the audience. And that one's from Zoe Lestine, showing her serving abilities. And Zoe coming off a great game against Justice University at the line. She'll send that one a little strong and over the back end. So the Cougars now will take possession, and Julia Abdul-Salam checking out for Tallulah Johnson. Number 1, Alila Wyant will serve. A nice serve right down the line. Amaryllis in the middle will send it right back down. Kenny Amaryllis with the up, the over, and the kill. She sent that with some serious power as she flies from the back row. Riley Blagg at the line. Good position and a bit of a misread by the Cougars. Number 17, Ali Encinas, freshman setter, trying to put it into the hands of number 5, Morgan Moraga, and she'll misread it. Blagg with a good serve. It's pushed outside to Johnson. Johnson blocked by Amaryllis. Outside to number 11, and that comes off with some power off the arms of Riley Blagg. A big swing from number 11, Isley Seabrook, who gets the kill. All tied up here in the den of the Coyotes Center, 10-10. As Aubrey Becker heads to the line for the Coyotes. Good spot. She'll push it outside to Johnson. Johnson tipped off the fingers of the defense. And Grace Johnson trying to set it right back over. She'll send it into the net instead. Bit of a misread. Essentially, she was a little closer to the net than she thought. Number 13, Aylin Solis will serve for the Cougars. Good spot, Amaryllis is there. Kitch outside to Metcalf bounces it off the defense. Middle line to Bryant. Lestine was there. Metcalf with another attempt. She'll find a line. Outside. Szymanski trying to recover, but it's no good. Bit of a misplacement from number 13, Aylin Solis, as Alyssa Szymanski chases it down, and that point will go over to the Coyotes as Kenny Amaryllis lines it up. Amaryllis, a good serve, will ride right off the net. Send the Cougars diving on the floor. Timeout call from the Cougars, 13-11 on the board. So Coach Galliano feeling the tempo change, and the Coyotes taking back control of this match. He'll call a timeout and try to talk his girls back into a rhythm, find their stride, and pull a win here at the Coyotes Center. We'll be right back. So Kenny Amaryllis will serve for the Coyotes, coming out of that timeout. Cougars in a scramble. Johnson from way deep will send it over. Amaryllis with the up. Crafter, quick bump over the top. Pushed outside to Szymanski. Big swing, it's good. Szymanski throwing it down with some authority. Letting the Coyotes know what's up from the back row. And Szymanski, once again, leading the team this year in kills. We 58 on the season. Setting herself apart as a leader on the team. And Amaryllis with the up, pushed outside to Salazar. Salazar, big swing. And that'll come off number 7, Julia Abdul Salam. And Alyssa Szymanski, playing at Northwest Christian School in Phoenix, Arizona during her high school career. 116 sets played, 255 kills in her time there, according to what we could find on the internet. Probably had a lot more than that. This is just from 2023 to 2024. So if she played beyond that, we probably messed up her record there. But Flagg will get the block. Szymanski down the line, outside to Metcalf, who just drops it right over the top, dodging the defensive line, who was ready for the powerful swing of Sydney Metcalf, and she'll trip them up, send it right into their arms and down on their end of the court. Allie Gibbons with a serve into the net. She'll check out for Bryn Iguano. Number 10, Ava Moreno, the libero, and Blagg strong at the middle. Pushes out to Salazar. Salazar drops it home. Cougars in a scramble. Szymanski will toss it back over. Outside to Metcalf. Metcalf with a push and finds her mark on the opposite end. Sending number 13, Aylin Solis, diving on the court, but it's no good. Grace Johnson will serve for the Coyotes. Down the line, pushed outside to Szymanski. She'll send it high and out. So Szymanski unable to bring that one down. Johnson will serve for the Coyotes again. Nice and high. Pushed outside to number 7 off the fingertips of the Coyotes. Kept alive by Sage Salazar, and Amrills will send it over. Szymanski, big swing, finds her mark in dead center. And the Cougars doing a lot with some of those crazy passes. Scrambling to the outside, hustling to get it back in, and making it work even when it looked like a lost cause potentially. So number 17, Ali Encinas, will serve for the Cougars. Trying to climb their way back up. Flag at the net, a little tip. Pushed outside, big swing, and that's in the net from number 7, Julia Abdul-Salam. Just didn't quite get under that ball. Looks like maybe a little late to the swing. So she'll send that one into the net. Zoe Lestine will serve. And that one giving us a Lestine special. Hard and low into the hands of the back row. That one's out of bounds, and a timeout called by Coach Galliano. As the spread gets even further here in the second set, and the Coyotes looking to do a clean sweep once again. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back. Cougars coming out of that timeout lively and amped up. Whatever Coach Galliano said to them, getting them ready to play the next few. Zoe Lestine will remain in possession for the Coyotes on the serve. Lestine, good placement. Drop it down the line and comes off the hands of Grace Johnson. Can't get up underneath it, and that'll be a point for the Cougars. Alea Wyatt from Peoria, Arizona will serve. Iguana with the up, it's off the net. Johnson outside to Becker. Becker had to switch it up and toss it. Lestine with a good dive, she'll keep it alive. Iguana will bump it over. Coach Yamashiro calling for a reset, and a big swing leads it out of bounds off of number 11, Isley Seabrook. The freshman outside hitter from Chandler, Arizona. Riley Blagg will now serve for the Coyotes. 20-15. 5-point lead for the Coyotes. Good spot from Riley Blagg, and a big swing from number 5, Morgan Moraga. Flying out of nowhere and putting some serious power behind it. The Cougars will get fired up off of that one, and Moraga will head to the back line for her serve. Iguano off the net. Johnson outside to Becker. Becker answers back. Becker will fire one away of her own and bring the ball right back over to Coyote country. So Aubrey Becker will go to serve. Good line. She'll send it up. It's outside. Tossed up. And a miscommunication from Aubrey Becker and Kia Crafter. They'll both go after it and send it out of bounds instead. Becker checking out, as well as Grace Johnson and Sydney Metcalf, and Elena Kitch will check in. Officials making sure everything's in place. And officials join us tonight, Jim Fiker, Rob Schwartz, Lance Johnson, and Jennifer Broad. And we appreciate them officiating tonight's game and making sure everything's in order as Kenny Amaryllis sends a missile down on the opposite end of the court. Winds up and swings. She'll send that one all the way over and right back into her arms on the opposite end so she can serve. Amaryllis with some power. Cougars in hot pursuit. They'll bounce it over, keep it alive. Down the middle to Crafter, and Crafter bounces it off the middle. Good point for Crafter and the Coyotes. Coyotes finding their rhythm after a shaky start here in the second set, but hammering away. Szymanski trying to make a mark of her own. Splits the defense. And she'll land it on the court. Cougars with the point. Number 4, Abby Kilpatrick. Join us on the court from Mesa, Arizona. Played at Desert Ridge High School. She'll serve for the Cougars. Crafter tips it. Kept alive. Bumped back over. Aguano outside to Metcalf. Metcalf with a little toss of her own. Cougars in a scramble. They'll keep it alive. Amaryllis and Kitch will send it over. Aguano outside to Salazar. Salazar, good swing, good power. It's pushed outside to Szymanski, who tries to toss it tight off the net, but she'll keep it on her end of the court, and that'll be a point for the Coyotes. Kia Crafter will clock out, and Hallie Gibbons will check in to serve. Gibbons with a good serving record here tonight. Cougars will send it back over, and it's Metcalf over the top. Sends it down, and Cougars in a scramble. That'll be a point for the Coyotes. 25-18 as the Coyotes secure their second match here in the den of the Coyotes Center. As they look for a clean 3 sweep, the Cougars trying to defend. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back for this exciting matchup here on a Wednesday night. So we return for the third set here at the Coyote Center between the South Mountain Cougars and your Chandler-Gilbert Coyotes. Coyotes taking the first two, looking to close it out on a full sweep in their first conference win of the season. As the Cougars send it over, Sage Salazar, big swing, and she'll rocket that to a point. That's a kill from Sage Salazar. And you got to say, I talked to Coach Galliano, who first year, obviously coaching the Cougars, as mentioned before, and he said it takes time to build a culture and a team. And I got to say, even though the Cougars aren't winning right now, they've lost the first two. They are fired up. They're energetic. They're cheering each other on, and you love to see that from a team, even in the tough spots, putting forth the effort, giving it their all, and leaving it out on the court and supporting each other through it. So kudos to Coach Galliano and everything he's trying to do with the South Mountain program. Allie Gibbons at the serve. Szymanski topped off the net, and Black's there to send it back down. Coyotes with a quick three. Allie Gibbons leading the march. Gibbons with a tight serve. Moreno's there to keep it alive. Szymanski from deep. Gibbons with the up, outside to Metcalf. Metcalf, big swing, bounces off the defense. Moreno outside to Szymanski. Szymanski, little fist over. Kitch outside to Salazar. Salazar rides the line, finds the corner. It's good. Sage Salazar showing the Cougars the full force of the sledgehammer as she brings it down with some serious force. Allie Gibbons with another serve. This time it'll go crashing into the net, so point for the Cougars. 4-1. And Alyssa Szymanski will serve for the Cougars. And Szymanski missing her mark that time. She'll send it into the net and send it back over to the Coyotes. Much needed point for the Cougars there, and a rarity. We haven't seen many mistakes from Szymanski tonight. She's been pretty consistent, and so I'm sure we won't see many more of those as it goes back to the Coyotes. Moreno outside to Johnson. Johnson, big swing. Amarillo is there. Johnson to Salazar. Salazar rattles it off the defense. Big swing. Johnson's there on the other end, and Becker will bump it over. Johnson taps it. Aguano with the dive. Blag to Salazar. Salazar off balance. She'll get it alive and over. Big swing. Amarillo is there, and Johnson will set it over. And it looks like potential two-touch on the ball from the Cougars, so that'll be a point for the Coyotes. But a good rally between both squads. And Coach Galliano will call the first time out in this third set as he sees the game slipping away as the Coyotes lead with 5. Here at the Coyote Center, we'll take a quick timeout and be right back. So Cougars come out of their timeout, and Coach Galliano trying to pull a win in this third set, stretch the game even further. Grace Johnson will serve. Moreno with the up, pushed outside to Johnson. Johnson, big swing, slices the defense. Guano keeps it up. Johnson on the chase. And Amarillos with a bump to keep it alive and over. Outside, blocked by Blagg, and Becker on the floor to try to pancake it up. It's no good, and that'll be a point for the Cougars. Good kill from number 11, Isley Seabrook. Johnson outside to Becker. Becker, big, good swing down the middle. A little bit of a miss, but it'll still go over. Salazar will swing down the sideline, and that's out of bounds. As Ava Moreno heads to the line to serve, and Moreno, the native of Piera, Arizona, played at Mountain Ridge High School. Good serve. Blagg will try to bury it. Moreno's there to keep it up. Johnson from deep will swing. Becker back in the middle court and tapped over by Johnson. Moreno all over the court. She'll swing. Blocked by Salazar, but not enough oomph to keep it over. It'll come down, and the Cougars will secure the point. But Ava Moreno played at Mountain Ridge High School as she heads to the line again. In her 24-25 season, played 63 sets, 70 digs, 175 receptions. So tremendous talent, and we've seen that here tonight as she really hustles on the court and gives her team chance after chance to get the ball back over and secure points for the squad. The Coyotes will win that bout, and the ball will be over to Zoe Lestine on the serve. Another great serve from Lestine. Send it with some spin off the arms of Tallulah Johnson. That'll go into the audience, and Lestine will get the ball right back. Another one from Lestine, this time off the arms of Szymanski. And Lestine starting to make a name for herself in that serving position, very consistent. Putting the back row of the other squad in trouble. The Coyotes send it over high off the net. Number 5, Morgan Moraga, with a good idea, trying to pound it back home. She'll just mistime it. And the ball will come back down on their end of the court, so the Coyotes will remain in possession. Zoe Lestine still at the serve. Good spot. This time Szymanski with the up, pushed outside to Johnson. Johnson over the top and out of bounds. The Cougars looking for a potential touch off the defensive end, but both officials will call it in favor of the Coyotes. No touch, and a point for the Coyotes. Lestine this time, a switch up will drop it over the net. Nice tap, blocked. Aguano's there. Becker tries to fish it over and meets the post instead, so a point for the Cougars. Energy from the Cougars still fully alive and cheering their squad on. Becker, big swing, hits the net, comes back down. Johnson tips it, kept alive by Lestine with some great hustle. Becker with a serve and a kill as it bounces right into the defense. Good power from Aubrey Becker. And I love the momentum that the Coyote squad seems to be finding, especially on their home court games. Can't speak for the away game as the Cougars tip it over and comes off the fingertips of Grace Johnson. But the momentum, I can't speak for the away game at Phoenix College. And we've already talked about that one in length as we interviewed Coach Yamashiro about it as well. And Crafter keeps that one alive. Big swing from the Cougars. And the Coyotes lose that one as well. 12-7. But the Coyotes, it seems like the ability to find their rhythm, and at the command of Coach Yamashiro, just pull the game together and really start to find their stride as they lose another point, and ironically, kind of losing their rhythm here as I speak about it to the Cougars. Cougars taking control of the match and climbing their way out of the deficit, but Lestine will get that one up. Becker will send it over. Big swing, Iguanos up, Johnson outside to Amaryllis, but sends it out of bounds and too tight to the net. The Coyotes unable to recover. Coach Yamashiro trying to tell his girls to calm down, get back in rhythm, find your stride, and allowing the Cougars to really throw some wrenches in their game. As Johnson sends that right into the hands of Kaya Crafter. Just can't get it up, slips out of the hands and gives the Cougars another point. Tallulah Johnson doing some damage, dropping bombs all over the court. And the Coyotes will call a timeout as the Cougars find some fire late in this third set. Coyotes losing some serious ground as the Cougars work their way out of quite the deficit. 11-12, Coyotes with 1 point lead. And a timeout on the board. We'll take a quick break and be right back. So both teams back on the court, and the question, can the Coyotes find their rhythm, or will they let the Cougars take control of this match? We're about to find out. The Coyotes coming out of a timeout called by Coach Yamashiro as the Cougars making some serious ground and climbing their way out of a deep hole here in the third set. Tallulah Johnson leading the march for the Cougars. Becker slamming it away, but blocked by Morgan Moraga, the freshman middle blocker from Chandler, Arizona. And I'll tell you what, this Cougar lineup's all fired up. Tallulah Johnson, another great serve. Kept alive, pushed down. Amaryllis, who buries it. And she'll kill that streak, led by Tallulah Johnson with a pound at the middle position. Aubrey Becker will head to the line to serve and try to regain some ground. 13-12, close match here in the third set. Moreno with the up, pushed a little deep. Good recovery. Johnson to Amaryllis. Amaryllis gets there just in the nick of time and taps it right over. So Becker will maintain possession. And the Cougars will let that one fly high and over the back. So the Cougars showing they're still in this. A lot of fight from the Cougars as they try to stay alive and push their game to the fourth. Morgan Moraga with the serve. Lestine's there. Kitch to Crafter. Crafter with the hard pound and comes off strong from Zimanski. Out of bounds. Point for the Coyotes. Lestine will check out and Sage Salazar will check in. Kendi Amaryllis will head to the line. Amaryllis with a good swing. Zimanski's there to keep it up. It's in the net. Zimanski will put it over. Outside to Metcalf. Metcalf with a powerhouse swing, but good hustle will keep that one in. Cougars will stay alive. Crafter over the top and puts it right down over the front line as Moreno chases it down but can't get there in time. but you got to appreciate the hustle from the Cougars. Chasing down that crazy swing from Sydney Metcalf and managing to keep it back in and stay in the game. Amaryllis will put another point on the board. Another good spot. Zemansky's there outside to Kilpatrick. Salazar returns the favor. Kilpatrick with the big time block. Cougars loving that one. Getting up and putting it down. That was Abby Kilpatrick, the sophomore outside hitter from Mesa, Arizona. Amaryllis, Kitch, Crafter, blocked by Bryant. Metcalf tips it over. Szymanski trying to put some firepower. She'll get it that time. And the Cougars, through sure will, managing to stay alive and fight it out. Answering the call of the Coyotes and battling in this third set. That one will be tossed away by number 17, Allie Encinas. Sending it into the net and right back over to the Coyotes. 18-15, late in the third set, as the Cougars claw their way, trying to stay alive and find success. Allie Gibbons with the over. Zemansky, big swing. Gibbons is there to recover. Kitch to Salazar, good placement. Salazar with a little set over. Looks like the Cougars wanted a two-touch call, but it'll be blocked by Riley Blagg. And that'll be another point for the Coyotes. As Coach Galliano calls a timeout. Feeling the wind shift in favor of the Coyotes, he'll try to rock the momentum and bring his team back into line. We'll take a timeout and be right back. So to the credit of Coach Galliano, he has managed to fire up his squad and keep the fight alive as they battle it out here in the third set. 19-15, coming out of a pretty steep deficit. And now they'll battle for this third set. A good serve as well. A little miscommunication as Allie Gibbons thought the whistle had been blown. It looks like it hadn't quite been called. I thought I might have heard it as well, but nonetheless, she'll reserve. Good serve from Gibbons. Szymanski sends it into the bench of the Cougars. Gibbons with some great placement. Hard and tight off the net. A tough one to return. She'll do it again. Szymanski with the up, but she'll send it right back to the Coyotes, and Sage Salazar will take the swing. Pushed outside, Szymanski. Up by Kitch. Kitch over to Salazar. Salazar off the fingertips of the defense. Moreno's there. She'll push it outside. Big swing, and that's out of bounds. And it looks like some potential confusion on whether it was a touch or not. The officials will come together. Lance Johnson running the head official position. So they'll come together and discuss, and they'll call that in favor of the Coyotes. Szymanski will head over and talk to Lance Johnson as well, pleading their case. In a match like this, these little points make all the difference, as the Cougars are fighting to stay alive and keep this game going, pushing it to a fourth. Szymanski will relay the message back to Coach Galliano. A little back and forth between coach, player, and official. Looks like Lance Johnson remains firm on the call. And the game will play on. Coyotes will remain in possession. Hallie Gibbons will serve for the team. Szymanski with the up. Szymanski from the back. Pushes it up. Kitch at the line. Blagg's there. Blocked by Ezra Bryant. Blagg with some good hang time, but tries to tip it. Bryant on the read was there. So the ball goes over to the Cougars, and Alyssa Szymanski has a chance to put some points on the board for the squad. It looks like a serving violation. And they'll call that in favor, putting it back over for the Coyotes. A tough misstep this late in the game. 22-16, Grace Johnson serves. Szymanski with the up, pushed outside to Johnson. Johnson tips it over. It's at the net. And Grace Johnson will send it back. Big swing, a little off balance. Amaryllis with the recovery. Blagg will fire away. She'll meet her mark. And Blagg giving it all the smoke that time. She'll send it down with some serious heat. Grace Johnson will serve. Great serve. Moreno pushes it outside. And they'll over the top. That's number 11, Aisley Seabrook. Just didn't get enough down on the ball, and that'll go out of bounds. So Grace Johnson will serve, looking to close it out. Sends it up. It's high. Szymanski with the up. Pushed outside. Seabrook. Amaryllis. Johnson. Blagg. Over the top. Moreno with the dive. Keeps it alive. Johnson swings and bounces it off the hands of Aubrey Becker. Ava Moreno, the libero for the Cougars, sends it over. Aguano's there. Johnson outside to Becker. Becker. Big swing. But couldn't step into it. She'll have to place and swing, it looks like, and just couldn't get the up and over she needed. That'll go into the net. Amaryllis with the up. Johnson. Becker with an opportunity. She tosses it. Amaryllis pushes it back inside. Aguano tosses it over. Little toss. Johnson. Aguano. Outside to Salazar. Salazar off the defensive hands. Johnson from deep. And she'll throw that into the net. As the Coyotes secure the last point, that'll be a win for the Coyotes, as they beat the South Mountain Cougars, securing their first win in conference of the season here on the home court. And just a tremendous battle and effort from both squads, especially here in that third set. The Cougars, you got to admire the energy, the hustle. Look, this is their first year with head coach Galliano, and we know how tough that is. Obviously, the Coyotes also in their first year with Coach Yamashiro, but Coach Yamashiro was here as an assistant coach prior to, so he's had some time with the team. He's had time with the returners, and there was already a culture in place. Obviously, some fine-tuning and tweaks as Coach Yamashiro puts his own spin on it, but there was foundation. Coach Galliano leading the march with new year, new culture, and while obviously you have to win games and compete, they're putting the pieces together. And you got to admire the hustle, the effort, and I would argue the buy-in from his girls, just really giving it their all. You know, it's easy with a new squad and it looks like half a team of freshmen to cripple and crumble under the pressure, especially at a two loss ratio where you're down by 2, and that's not what we saw tonight. We saw a Cougars team that fought, that gave it their all, and persevered all the way till the end. And even in the last set, the easiest time to give up, they kept on going. So got to commend Coach Galliano and the South Mountain Cougars for battling and fighting hard here at the Coyotes Center. The Coyotes, lot to love. They had great pieces come together, a lot of consistency, a lot of great things we've been seeing in their other games that just have continued to file through. And one thing I really liked was the ability to play under the pressure. And in this in-conference match where the games count on the record, they kept it consistent like we've seen every home game since. And Coach Yamashiro, when things started to get rocky and the tempo changed, the rhythm got off, he called the girls back into line, and they executed. And that's a sign of a growing program. That's a sign of a buy-in to culture. And that's a sign of a team that's ready to compete in further games deep into conference. So we're excited for what we see. We're going to take a quick break, maybe catch an interview or two. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll be right back. So we're going to go ahead and forego the interviews here tonight. We appreciate everybody tuning in here in the den of the Coyotes Center and watching this tremendous game of volleyball as the Lady Coyotes take a first in-conference win of the season. Another great home game win in front of the home team audience. And a big shout-out to everyone who helped out and made this possible. We'll go ahead and read off some of the upcoming games. South Mountain today, Wednesday the 24th. They then play away Friday the 26th, Pima Community College. And that'll be at Pima at 7 p.m. this coming Friday. Next week, home game against Park University Gilbert. And this will be another non-conference matchup. That'll be on Wednesday the 1st here at the Coyote Center. And then they're away for a while. Friday the 3rd, they'll head to Scottsdale Community College. Thursday the 9th, they'll be at Central Arizona. Friday the 10th, they'll head to Mesa Community College. Friday the 17th, they'll be at Glendale Community College. And then Wednesday, October 22nd, so we won't see them for a bit. They'll be back here home to play Phoenix College, a team they lost to on the road just a week ago. So a whole lot going to be happening over the next course of the next couple of weeks. We're excited for what's going to be taking place and the development we've seen. If anything's to tell us from tonight's game, they've got all the pieces for success to take a lot of wins on the road. Big thanks to everyone who participated in tonight's live stream. We want to give a big thanks to Russ Luce, the athletic director, Coach Steve Silsby, running the technology and starting lineup, Coach Yamashiro, head coach for the girls, and everyone else who participated. We thank everybody for being here, and this has been a presentation of Chandler-Gilbert Sports. I'm Matt McCurdy. Thank you and good night.